work directly with local government to figure out what the local government wants to do regarding their housing. I know that we see a lot of things that are happening right now in the House in regards to bills that are interpreted, especially on the Detroit side, as preemption, where you're able to come in and tell the city of Detroit what to do, or the city of Warren what to do regarding housing. I think if we had a more holistic approach, especially to the vacant land in southern Warren and in northeast Detroit, if we had real infrastructure set up and we had grants and affordable programs for developers to be able to come and build on the vacant land that we have in southern Warren and northeast Detroit, that we could actually have an answer to the affordable housing issue that we have. This district is 45% industrialized. And we know that during the Great Recession, we lost a lot of people who live in northeast Detroit and southern Warren. Unfortunately, those homes are now blighted. Those homes are now vacant land, and we see an uprise in crime. We see an uprise in just quality of life issues. And I feel that if we take money and funds and invest it into those blighted areas where people used to live, and we downzone some of the industrial areas in collaboration with the cities, that we can have a true answer to the affordable housing crisis that we have.
Thank you. As we all know, there are a lot of issues and concerns in our communities. This next question asks, what do you believe is the single most important issue facing your district today?
Ooh, that's hard. I would say the single most important issue would be, I really want to say environmental racism, because that's just the truth. For a district that's 45% industrialized, we have 11 cement crushing factories and 11 cement factories, period. We have some of the highest pre-existing health conditions, which we saw during COVID, when we lost a vast majority of people who lived in the district, sorry about that, due to having pre-existing health conditions. And I think that there is not enough oversight for people who are bringing industrial entities into residential neighborhoods. So of course I would want to say that one, but of course it's going to be affordability. This is the poorest district in the state, with a household minimum of $14,000. And one thing that Donovan McKinney, our current incumbent, has done is truly try to champion the affordability crisis in this district. So we need more resources. We need more opportunities to get to more opportunities for jobs. I fully support transit, because we need people in this district who don't have cars to be able to get to their jobs and be able to bring opportunities and money back home to their family.
One more question. Let's talk about local priorities. What do you believe is the single most important issue facing your district today? I like that one. How about environment?
Sorry.
I don't think we answered an environment question, did we? No.
Not yet.
I like the environment. So, how should Michigan balance environmental protection with economic growth?
Well, specifically in this district, as I just mentioned, it was 45% industrialized. Detroit, Warren, Oakland County, and Macomb County, we are the anchors of this state. And as we've moved out of manufacturing and into business, I feel that our cities need to catch up with that. So when we're talking about environment, we need to have stronger and stricter regulations on companies who are heavily polluting. If you check the news, I'm sure you've heard about the Chrono cement factory that's in this district. These communities are complaining every day about waking up and having cement particles on their cars. If you go by Buddy's and your car sits there too long, you'll see the cement dust in the air. We do not have regulatory structure in place specifically for things like that. The city of Detroit has failed its water and air EPA test since 2015. Since 2015, they failed it every single year. So when we talk about these industries being in the city or being in Warren or being Southwest, we understand that there are no protections for the people. That's why we have these pockets of cancer. That's why we have these pockets of high infant mortality, and that's actually in this 11-house district. And we have people, myself, my family, those of us who live here, who seemingly all have asthma. That is because of the environmental racism that's being placed on these overburdened communities.
Thank you. So we hear a lot about elected officials once they get into office, how they can become inaccessible. What or how do you plan to remain accessible and responsive to your constituents?
Well, the one thing that I really prided myself on, specifically in Warren, because everyone knows I'm from the Detroit side, is I spent the entire first 6 months of my campaign focusing on building relationships, focusing on going out to dinner, going into the homes of constituents in the district, calling people that had no idea who I was, but I knew them. And by building those relationships, I'm also determined to maintain those relationships. And for me personally, that's win or lose. I've had the privilege and the blessing of being able to develop real relationships with people in this room. And I think it's important for us to not only maintain those relationships, but to continue to work together. I've created a kitchen cabinet caucus. And those who are willing to join me, we have meetings every single month. One thing that I intend to do in this seat is something that I introduced for Warren Evans of Wayne County. I want to do a coffee hour, and I want to do a community meeting in Warren and Detroit every single month. That way you can come and talk to me. That way we can support small businesses in both cities. And that way my office and myself remain accessible. But also, everyone has my phone number. So you can call me. I may be late getting back, but if you text me, I promise it's me that's responding. I've already started building a structure for communication, and I intend to continue that.
Something that you'd like us to know or something you'd like to end with?
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Thank you. So, as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to say, win or lose, thank you. Thank you to everyone in the room who has taken the time to chat with me, who has taken the time to get to know me for me. I know that the narrative of this race has been controlled by someone who's not here right now, and I want to let you guys know that none of the things that have been said about me is true. I've never slept with Donovan. I've never taken corporate PAC money. I do live in the district. I've lived in the district my entire life. My mother did not pay any politicians to support me. Any endorsement that I've had or support that I've had, I've earned on my own. I am exactly who I say I am, and that is the reason why I have the support of the incumbent. That is the reason why I have done the things that I've been able to do in this race. I can assure you that I am exactly who I say I am, and I thank you for everyone who has supported me and who has stood beside me throughout this entire race. The financial report debacle that we got going on Facebook, financial report was down for the entire state. So, just so everybody knows, it came from Kim mouth. Thank you.